Boost your business success with user-generated content, an entrepreneurial journey. In this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show, I, your host, Mischa Zvegintzov, interview guest Shawna Stevenson, co-owner of Elevaid, and we discuss the development and success of her nootropic drink. She's got a nootropic drink, and it's epic. ChatGPT wrote this intro for me. It's really funny. We delve deep into the benefits of nootropics, the entrepreneurial journey of creating a valuable product, the initial struggles with marketing, and the incredible turnaround achieved through user-generated content. We also talk about the emotional highs and lows of entrepreneurship, how she maintained momentum as their product took off, the shift in her marketing strategies, the effectiveness of authentic video content, and her plans to reach a wider audience through an upcoming influence tour with me. Holy mackerel. This episode is really amazing. Shawna's amazing. It's so much fun interviewing her, and she will indeed blow your mind with her ideas and how she used user-generated content. Please enjoy. You know when someone is selling from stage and at the end, the audience gets up and rushes to the back of the room to buy? That's a table rush. My name is Mischa Z, and the Table Rush Talk Show is all about bringing you the tools, strategies, and tactics that you can use to grow your audience and inspire them to buy. Welcome everybody to the Table Rush Talk Show. I'm your host, Mischa Zvegintzov, and today I am so excited. I have with us today Shawna Stevenson. She is the purveyor, and I love that word. So you could say co-owner, marketer, business owner extraordinaire of Elevaid, which is a nootropic drink. Am I saying that correctly, Shawna?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And Shawna has a partner, Kevin Walker, who is not here, but that's okay. And why we're really excited about having Shawna on the Table Rush Talk Show today is not only that she's got an amazing energy drink that, here, I'll give a quick little pitch for it, is an effective nootropic that tastes great, and we can use it to unleash our energy, our focus, and our productivity with no energy crash, no terrible ingredients, and no added sugar. And even better, it's made for everyday people who want to be at the top of their game each and every day. Like parents wanting to be there for their kids, entrepreneurs trying to get it all done, like you and me, yes?
Absolutely. I love this.
Yes. Athletes needing sustained energy, focus, and stamina, and anyone who wants to enjoy life to the fullest. So there's all that great stuff, and you've got this great drink, and it's doing well. But I think why I'm so excited to have you here is that you have started to have some really good success, and that you've started to get some momentum. But it's not only that, it's that how you did it and how you're doing it. And it's super amazing. It's super awesome. It's super fun. And it's super accessible for the common entrepreneur like us. Right?
Absolutely.
That's why you're here, right? Like this is people are their minds are gonna be blown, and they're gonna go, I can do this. That right?
100%. If I can do it, everybody can do this.
Yeah. So you're gonna want to keep listening. Everybody, like when I give you a little bit of the backstory, it gives me chills just thinking about it. Okay. And so my guess is absolutely that everybody who's listening, watching, hello, that you can take some of what Shawna's doing and use it for yourself. Like right now, you could, as soon as this podcast is done, you could hit stop, look like and follow, of course, and 5-star, but you could take action and increase your business. So that's what we're here to talk about today. Yes?
Absolutely. I can't wait for this.
Okay. So a little bit of backstory. So Shawna and I are both in this, I'm going to say super expensive coaching group. Like I feel it's kind of super expensive.
I'll agree there.
Yeah. I mean, like we're paying some money to learn what we're learning. And I mean, to the tune of $25,000 to $30,000 a year. So we're invested in what we're doing. And Sean and I get to see each other a bunch, and we've had Zoom calls together one-on-one. We've been on group calls. We've been on coaching calls. We've been watching each other's journeys. And as all you listeners know, is that I'm all about the customer story. I'm all about telling the customer story. I'm all about getting the customer story. For a while, I was like, I'll get your customer testimonials for you because it's that important. And not only your customer testimonials, but your customer testimonials told in the right way, right? And so we had talked about maybe me helping you with that a little bit at one point. Where am I going with this? Sorry, my mind just went. But oh yes, I was going to say I've shifted a little bit to, now I've got my influence army, and I'm just so hyper focused and driven to help entrepreneurs, heart-centered entrepreneurs, get their messages out via what I call my influence tour. But however, I have deep roots in testimonials, in helping customers, helping you entrepreneurs tell your customer story. And so Sean and I are talking one day on a Zoom call, and I dropped the word UGC, this user generated content, UGC. And you're like, well, that's funny. You should say that. I have this, I've got my drink and we're crushing it right now. And we just went ahead and went to Fiverr and had somebody make some UGC content for us. And now we're crushing it. And I was like, wait, what? That's kind of the story, right?
It is the story.
Oh my God, I've been talking so much. But so I get an email from Shawna, and this is verbatim, by the way, because I'm like, Shawna, I have to have you on my show here. I got to get you talking to my clients, or not my clients, my listeners, and telling everybody what you're doing. And you're like, so here we go. Here is the very first UGC ad we created, and it literally changed our business. This is the first one we made on Fiverr. This is the second one we made on Fiverr. These have all been successful and the most engaging ads we have ever done. And these are Facebook ads, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. So let's see where we want to go here. Now that I've set it up for everybody, why don't you tell me a little bit about, let's talk about Elevaid, and like, why Elevaid, and where did this idea come from for you and Kevin? And like, what's the backstory? What's going on here?
Absolutely. So we were introduced to nootropics a few years ago, and we were fascinated by it. And nootropics are simply ingredients, healthy, natural ingredients that help the brain and the central nervous system. It's kind of like a vitamin for the brain if you want to take it for that. And we were visiting with a doctor when we were in formulation, and he said, you guys, this is like so huge, because right now in America, people are still concerned. Like, do you remember like when we were growing up, Mischa, and people would go, we called it the big C, and it was cancer, and it was a terrible, but think about how far all that research has come. And they're able to save so many lives now, right? And so it's not maybe the worst diagnosis that you could get like it was 20 years ago.
Absolutely. Or even 40 years ago, if we really want to date ourselves.
Absolutely. So what's changed now is that has slid down, but Alzheimer's and dementia has kind of taken its place. Mm-hmm. And that more people are worried about that than they are about other health related issues that they have. So we were like, and he was like, so this is really an up and coming area, and it's super important for everybody's health. So we started diving into it, and we were like, okay, we want to go full in. And we went to research and development. And when we did that, it was quite the experience for us. And it took us 4 different formulators to find the exact formula that we wanted. Like we found, one guy was really great, but the sample he sent us, we literally it was like chewing something in your mouth, and it was slime. It was disgusting. So we didn't want that. That's not what Elevaid is. We really wanted it to be something that we could mix with water so that people could be more hydrated, which is certainly another key component of brain health. But we wanted it to taste great, and we actually wanted it for people to feel great with it. And so that's the formula that we did. And now it's our job as entrepreneurs, right? Like we can make the greatest stuff, but if we don't let the world know about it, then we just have a warehouse full of great products.
Yeah, you have a whole bunch of, so it's packets, right? It's little packets and people will rip and pour and shake, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
it is.
yes. And so if we don't learn how to market it, then you've got a warehouse full of packets.
Yeah, which I love to drink it, but I can't drink a whole warehouse full. So yeah, so that's where the entrepreneurial side comes in. It's like, great, we've got this great product. What do we do now?
Yeah, what do we do now? Okay, great. So I can't wait to get to the what do we do now, and also perhaps some of the what I tried and how I didn't, and how it was frustrating. And so maybe what this simple user generated content, how you quickly created it and how you deployed it, right, to transform your business. Everybody, we're going to get to that, but I'm like, well, you just started it like, yeah, I was talking to a doctor and we went through 4 formulators. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like, why the obsession with nootropics and energy drinks? Maybe you can is there a step back that brought you to that point, or?
Sure. Like, so nootropics and energy drinks, we were like, there's got to be something. Like, have you ever stood at the convenience store and you wanted to open that door and there's like all these pretty cans of energy drinks,
Yeah.
but you're not really sure what's in them, and maybe you've heard some bad press about them,
Yeah.
and I don't know if I want that much. And so we felt like that there was a healthier alternative. And we knew that we had seen it in another.
Let me ask you a different question. Yeah. I want to ask you a different question. So maybe let's go back even there. So are you telling me you came out of the womb and you're like, I'm going to be an energy drink creator my whole life, or was there like the crap hit your fan in your life and you discovered nootropics and it transformed you, or like what's going on? Does that question make sense?
Yeah. So in a previous life, Kevin and I did live events. And so we would be the one that would coordinate everything and run them and all that fun stuff. And that's where we were introduced to a company that had this one drink. Okay. And it was a coffee drink, and it kind of had some weird side effects. And I was like, okay. And some people loved it, but I could see the possibilities in it if there were some changes in it. And so we saw where it was going, and we had started hearing there were a lot of people coming into this area, like Tim Ferriss, like Dave Asprey, like they're starting to really talk about that. Brendan Burchard, Russell Brunson, all these guys are saying it, but what was on the market wasn't really
saying it
working for us.
Saying it like, our audience, our followers, anybody who's paying attention to us in the marketing world or following us or is involved in our groups, like you need to start utilizing nootropics in your daily supplement regimen. So because it'll give you more brain power. It'll keep you more focused. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Exactly. And so the cost on like Dave Asprey's one, which he has a great product, it's a capsule. I don't need to take another capsule. But the cost is really, really high. And I'm like, it's not in reach of a lot of people. And a lot of entrepreneurs, like, we're like bootstrapping this, like we're figuring it out on our own and stuff like that. So how can we help entrepreneurs really get more out of their day and be at their peak and not have to spend the entire day at work, right? Yeah. But they can actually have a life that they can enjoy and go out and get to do the things that they really want to do. Find that freedom that they want as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. So, and then cool. And then did you start using them and you're like, oh, this has changed me. And so all of a sudden you're like, well, I love this, you and Kevin, and you're like, this is amazing. And, is this pure opportunistic kind of?
No. So it was funny when we finally partnered with Nick, our formulator. He was like, okay, here's your homework. I want you to go out and try every nootropic there is. And I want you to report back to me on how it made you feel, what you like. It was all the market research, right?
Yeah.
And we had to taste them. And that's when we were like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. So there had to have been at least 40 that we tried. And so every day we'd wake up with our spreadsheet and go, okay, let's try this one. And one of the funniest stories while we're doing this, I mean, some of them like were because they're not all the same ingredients. Like there's a blend of ingredients.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like some of them it was like, oh my gosh, it felt like you got hit in the head. Some of them were terrible. So one day I texted and I said, have you tried this one? And I sent a picture and it was in it. I won't name the brand, but
Okay.
it sounded disgusting anyway. And I said, have you tried this one? I was like, it's really bad. And Kevin texted back and he goes, oh man, he goes, that one tasted like barf. And I was like, oh, good.
Good.
Because I had gotten off the line. I was like, I'll just take his word for it. I don't want to drink that one today. So it was a ton of research, but finding
Mm.
one that really tasted good was really the challenge. And that's where we felt like we set ourselves apart, that it's easy to mix with water. You can drink it, it tastes good, and you can go on.
Cool, cool. And then you have cool. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And then I will let's just everybody listening can take I don't want to say take it for granted, take it as truth that like all the things that you say you want to get what tell us what it does for everybody really quick first, and then we'll get into the marketing and how you're marketing it, or you're like,
Yeah,
hey, I'm onto something, this tastes great, but like put it in terms or real life stories, I suppose, you know what I mean? Like this stuff
sure.
works and my friends are drinking it and they're like, oh my god, this is the best ever, or you know what I mean, where you're like, oh, this is it, the formula, and it works. And yeah.
Yeah. So we got that. So when we got our first batch in, we found it and we opened it, and the first thing that we noticed is, wow, this smells really good. And I was like, all right, well, this is a great step. And then we mixed it and it mixed really well. And then we tasted it. It was like, oh my gosh, it tastes great. And then it was like, okay, but that could be Kool-Aid, right? Like if you just wanted flavored water. So then we had to start testing, like, what did it do for people? And so we did a huge test with about 100 people and asked them, how did it make you feel? What were the benefits of it and everything like that? And we've had, because nootropics kind of work with your body what you need. So it's not exactly the same experience for every single person. Some people, it gives them a sense of calm, but they're very focused, but they can sustain that for a long time. There are some people who it makes them like, they've got more energy. They want to move more and they want to get out and do stuff more because they feel better, right? It's like these nutrients that their body needs makes them feel better. So they want to do stuff. And so a lot of our ingredients have been helped with anxiety and with, people not feeling anxious as much, or, they kind of just feel better.
Yeah.
And so that's we didn't want something to shoot them over the moon. We want something that they can sustain, that it's enjoyable, that they want to
Yeah.
repeat, that they can work into their everyday lives to enhance it and just to be a better version of themselves.
Cool. And so you start getting the feedback. Are you looking at like questionnaires, before and afters, and
Yeah.
what are you seeing? And what are you seeing that's like, oh my gosh, like we got it, we nailed it. Like what are
Yeah.
literally some of the things that
Yeah.
maybe
So
you,
some of the things that we came back is I vividly remember this one very sweet woman who was very candid with us, and she said, "I'm going to be super honest. I haven't felt like getting off the couch and getting anything done in years." And she goes, and so day by day goes by month, year by year. And she said, you simply asked me to take it. She goes, I actually felt like getting up and doing things. She goes, this is literally changing my life because now I'm able to go out and function. Now, of course, hers is an extreme case, right? Like we don't want anybody to feel like that there's no hope, that they've been on the couch for that long. We've had people just go, I'm just in a better mood. I just
mm,
get more done and I want to do more things. And to me,
mm.
that's a success. And because
You
I
know
think
what's
it's just
amazing?
fun.
You know what, that honestly, what I just thought, I'm like, oh my gosh, you are bringing to people what the benzodiazepines and the antidepressants and all this stuff promised to be. But
Right.
it's like, well, here actually it is in a nice little packet, but tastes good, and you don't have to deal with all the super freaking gnarly. We don't need to go down this path, but I'll breach it anyway, of like the antidepressants, the pill factory. I mean, it's just, to me, horrifying. But anyways,
Right.
so am I hearing that right? Is that would be
Yeah.
a good way to frame that?
Yeah, it really is. You nailed it right there.
That's amazing. Awesome. Okay, cool. So let's get into it. We've got this thing. It literally pulled somebody who was depressed and on the couch, if I may say it, and like got her off the couch. And you're like, we got something here. Tastes good. It's doing what we wanted to do. It's bringing people a general sense of happiness and perhaps some like transforming their life. We got to get this thing to market. What happens?
So we're like, okay. So, I mean, I'm sure that many of us have been in that same spot. So we joined the marketing program that Mischa and I are in, because I was like, oh, we need help. We need a lot of help. And so like all of our passion and everything like that can only carry you so far until you need some tactics to go into there. So we built a sales funnel to go into that, and plugged it in, and put a little bit of traffic to it. And we were running a little bit of Facebook ads, and absolutely nothing happened. Zero. And I'm sure that there may be some people here that can relate. Like, you're like, we built it. It's here. I'm telling the world about it on ads, and it's crickets. So we're like, okay.
Is deflated? How about that? Is deflated the right word, or
Okay,
devastated, or crushed, or
yeah, it was. I was like, no, you don't understand. This is great. You gotta try it, right? And so people that we were connecting with one-to-one were like diehard fans of the product. And I was like, we've just got to figure out how to communicate to other people. Like, I can't, like, that's why we use advertising, right? So that we can reach more people. I can only reach so many people.
Yeah.
And so that's what we were trying to figure out. And that's kind of where I was like, all right, we've kind of got all these Legos, but we're not building anything with them. We're just kind of shuffling them around right now, is kind of where we felt like, wait, where do we go from here?
So at this point, you've got a whole lot of time invested, a whole lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and the financial implications of developing, creating, getting your warehouse full of packets. And then you're like, all right, let's start driving some ads. So there's that investment. And it's like, yeah, that did not go like we planned. And so, okay, that's heavy. That's a heavy place to be.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. As an entrepreneur, that's real time. What do we do next? Do we throw in the towel, or do we? So what happens? You're like, tell me.
Yeah. So we're working with our coaches and figuring it out. And we're like, okay, so we keep making new ad creative. And I can tell you the day that it happened, January 17th, 2023, a friend texted me, and he was a friend from 2CCX, and I had seen him maybe 9 months before and said, hey, and he's in the fitness industry. And I said, would you do me a favor? Would you try our product and just give me your honest opinion about it? And because I wanted to hear from people that weren't like close friends, right?
Totally.
Like I needed a little bit of,
like a disinterested third party who wasn't,
exactly.
It's not the mom who's bringing their child onto America's Got Talent.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like, can I have the Simon Cowell, please? Can we bring Simon Cowell in to taste my products?
And so I was actually literally on a coaching call when I got a text from him. I was like, oh, I haven't heard from him in a while. And I popped it open and I looked at it, and he had sent me a video review of the product. And I went, oh, I think this is gold. Like, I think. So I went and talked to our coach that helps with traffic. And I said, I just received this on my phone. what do you think? And he was like, oh my gosh. So we turned it into, like, from the time that he had it to the phone, by the time I went to bed that night, it was an ad. And it was just a friend going, hey, look, I don't really do these things. But Shawna asked me and I was skeptical, and here it is. And he gave us this unbelievable video.
10 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds?
60
seconds. And
60 seconds.
did it just happen to be 60 seconds? He sent it to
happened.
you?
Yeah,
Just
it just
happened to be
me.
6
Yeah.
seconds. Cool. So you show it to, so hey, everybody watching, listening, like we're in the 2CCX. That's a coaching group we're in. It's Russell Brunson's what turns out entry level high level coaching. Like you can spend 50,000, 100,000, 250,000 a year if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all hoping. We're like, all right, can I spend that much money?
Yeah, we can't wait to spend that much, right?
Wait. Yeah. So just so you know, everyone, like we're all in. We've drank the literal Brunson Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So and I'll just speak. This speaks to the value of investing in ourselves and our businesses, and even to Russell and what he's up to, whether you like him or not, or you believe in coaching or anything. But being in that coaching environment, you had access to real-time coaches that you could jump on a Zoom call in the moment that morning, that you got that from your a step back friend and say, look what I got, and spin it up in a day with the help of the 2CCX. That's kind of what I heard you say, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And
Yeah,
of course, we're in it this far, Mischa. We're going to figure it out, right?
Yes, we are. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yes. We are going to figure it out. Okay. So I'm dying to know, did you edit the video? Did you edit this thing from this guy, or did you just went with it as is?
As is, straight from my phone to my computer, uploaded it and ran it as an ad. Put $100 to it to see what would happen.
The universe literally was just like, thank you for continuing to take the steps. Here's a gift.
It really is. And we were laughing this morning in a conversation about entrepreneurship. Is like, we're the only crazy ones that love to figure out problems. Like, oh, give me another problem. Like, let's figure it out. Right? Yeah. Because that's really what entrepreneurship is like, okay, there's a problem. Let me figure it out. Here's another problem. Let's figure it out. And it's just continuing to take those steps. So it really was like, I love how you said that. Like, I really do feel like, all right, you've gone through the hard stuff. Let me give you faithful. This. Yeah. And let me see if you even know what it is. Like when it shows up in your phone, you just go, hey, thanks, or are you going to use it for the gift that it truly was?
That's amazing. It's like step one is you acknowledged it, or step one, it's there. So you saw it. And the real miracle is you had the awareness and the aha moment to be like, oh, this is something, versus just what you said. We're like, oh, that's cool. Someone else likes it. Push it to the side, beat my head against the walls some more. Right.
Right.
Okay. So you spend $100 and what happens? You're like, all right, you spin it up, go.
And so our ads start taking off. We start getting, ding, ding, like we're starting to get sales. And we're like, oh my gosh, it works,
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes you might doubt, right? Like
you doubt. Oh my gosh.
And so like we're doing the happy dance, like we're putting more money to it, and it's going.
It's going.
It's going. And we couldn't be more thankful, more grateful, and like, okay, what do we do now is really the next step.
I love it. What do we do now? Okay, hold on. Before we get to the what do we do now, we've got entrepreneurs that are listening and watching that are in some version of like at that wall of, do I keep the faith and keep pressing forward? Like every night I've been in that space where literally every night I'm talking to God. I'm like, God, what am I doing here? And the answer is like, try again tomorrow, continue taking the baby steps. And I'm like, okay, and then that, and then we get to that point of like, I'm in there right now where people are like, yes, love what you're doing. I want in. Like, let's do this. The momentum, the storm is rising, right?
Right.
And so, like, I imagine you were literally up and down dancing, or you're like, whatever, you're looking at Stripe or whatever the thing is that's ticking each time someone
Right.
says bye. Are you just literally like, talk to me, tell me the emotions, or like, where, you know what I mean? Like, are you
Yeah.
calling
So
Kevin? Are you guys texting each other? Like, what's
yeah,
up?
all of that, all of that. So every time a notification goes off, I'm crazy texting, and it's electrifying. And you're like, oh yay. And you keep seeing these orders come through. And then when you see repeat orders come through and subscriptions come through, you're like, it works. And now we're building this incredible tribe of people who are just wanting to be better and experience it. But you're so right with the entrepreneurship, right? Like sometimes you're like, am I doing the right thing? Is this the right thing I should be doing? What was I? There's just so much doubt sometimes, right?
So much
But
doubt.
you hit the nail on the head when you said, just take another step forward, take another step forward. And we're so blessed to be surrounded by people who are a little bit further down the journey for us in the program that we're in, because I can see their journey, right? Where
Yeah.
they've been, the steps
Yep.
they've taken, and
Yep.
they've had all the same feelings and all of that. But I know if I keep going, I'll be to their chapter soon. And so
And
that's been really important for us to surround ourselves with incredible people.
so powerful. And I love that too. And the other thing too is all of a sudden, as we have those success points, and I wanted to say, thank you for who's watching and listening. Perhaps you're successful and you've made it through these points that we're talking about right now, but I'm sure you're like, oh yeah, I've been there too. I mean, there's just no way around it. I mean, what, one out of I don't know, a million will have dumb luck. I don't even want to say dumb luck, but right place, right time, perfect storm, everything. But usually there's a story behind it too. It's like, yeah, well, no, I was prepared. I did the work. I like did something to put me in this luck circumstance, right? Like anyone who doesn't know the entrepreneurship game might be like, oh, well, you just got lucky and got that thing. And it's like, yeah, well, you don't understand what I had to do to create that
Yeah.
luck, right?
That's right. Exactly. Create our own luck, right? Like,
Yeah.
because it's not going to come find you.
Okay. I have a question that I want to ask before we get to the UGC, how you leveled up. And now from what I heard you say, you've got repeat orders, you've got subscriptions. Like people are like, yeah, we're in the tribe, we're in the Elevaid tribe, right? Like we are believers. So you get this amazing little piece of user generated content. You run an ad. So do you change the funnel at all? Or do you just like, let's run it to the existing funnel, or which is like for anybody listening who doesn't know what a funnel is, it's like a web page on steroids that helps you sell your product better, I would say, but tells the story much better and efficiently and makes
Right.
it really easy for people to buy, right? So did you
Great
change that
question.
funnel? Yeah.
We did. So what we did is we made one small tweak in that we went and we offered a free trial pack. It was just free plus shipping. You'll get 3 packs of it, and you can try it. And so that kind of, because people are like, I don't know if I like it. Is it going to be good? I don't know if I want to believe you. So we changed the funnel to that so that we could offer that as well. And then we had more orders now. And so we have a 60-day guarantee. If you don't like it, we'll refund your money. It's not, you don't have to do anything stupid or crazy or anything like that. Like we really believe it. And so that's what we did. So we really stood behind that, and we offered 3 different entry points to come in.
Cool.
Just so that everybody could get access to it.
I love it. And anybody listening right now, go to so you can see what we're talking about. So you can see the funnel. So you can see what the heck we're talking about. Your website, it's www. What is it? What's your website?
Drink DRINK Elevaid ELEVAID.com.
Awesome. Say it one more time.
drinkelevaid.com.
And spell it again.
Drink, ELEVAID.
Awesome. So if you're listening and grooving on what we're saying and you are in a space, go to that website, click on it, and you can see what a funnel is. You can see what we're talking about. You can see her ads. I'm staring at it right now. I was glad to see you had testimonials on there when I when I went to look.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I'd feel bad if I didn't, right?
I know, right? Okay, so anyway, you make a couple of tweaks, you do an ad. Okay, great. So I think we got to the next step of you're like, what do we do now? So what do we do now? What does Shawna and Kevin do now?
Right. So you can't just, when you're running ads, you can't just have one ad, right?
Okay.
Like everybody gets tired of seeing that one ad and it fatigues. And what starts to happen is your ad costs start going up. So because there's not new creative. So it's really important to keep the creative fresh. You're sending different messages and stuff like that. And I was like, we only have that one video and that's the only thing that's converting right now. So what are we going to do? So I was like, well, so I decided to go to Fiverr and I said, at least let me go see what's there. I don't even know if this is a service that people ask. So I went out to Fiverr and probably spent a good 2 hours looking at all of the gigs that are offered because there are pages and pages and pages of it. And one of the things that we found out very quickly is whatever persona that your UGC video is exactly that customer that is attracted. So in working with our first one with Eric, he was a young guy. And our demographic is usually a little bit older, people who, they just are. They're just more ready and more acceptable of this. And so it was very important for us. And our demographic is really men as well. I mean, women get a ton of it, but I think it makes men feel really good. And so we have a lot of men buy it. We always have.
Let me ask you a question quick. And that when you say really good, is it helping them with their performance, shall we say?
I think they just feel better, so they don't mind performing. How's that?
Love that. That's amazing. Great way to say
when
it.
you're in a happy mood, things to be more fun. Everything tends to be more fun.
Perfect.
Great question.
Thank
and
you.
well said.
Yeah.
So I knew it was important, and there were couples that were buying it, like a wife would buy it for a husband, like because he's tired at the end of the day, doesn't want to play with the kids and stuff like that, and looking for something. So one of the most important things that we did was find the exact person that we wanted. There's a lot of great people out there that on Fiverr that are making these videos, but I didn't need a college-aged kid because that's not who we want. I mean, that's just not our demographic right now. And so it was very important. So we found a guy named Dave, and he was and I was like, Fiverr really, like, I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. So I contact him and I tell him what we're doing. He lives in San Diego. And he's also been a part of the coaching program that we've been in. I actually see he's won a 2 Comma Club award. I see his plaque behind his shoulder and I'm like, all the arrows are pointing to him.
This is after 2 hours of searching and sifting and looking.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is mind numbing, by the way. I know that, like, 2 hours, someone listening might be like, that's no big deal. Oh, 2 hours searching through that it's mind numbing.
Yeah. And so here's the beauty of it. He wrote the script. All he did is he went to our website, to our funnel, read it, everything. He wrote the script. He filmed the script. He sent it to me in 3 days. And day 4, I got it that next morning, we had it running. And when I tell you that one took off, we just went, oh my goodness. So his converted even better and converted at a higher cart value. So meaning that it was, people were buying more than, I mean, there's options, right? Like we offer a discount when you buy something, there's a next one. And so our average cart value starts going up. So now, not only is our ad performing, we're getting sales, it's doing more so that we can actually put more money back into ads. So, and that was the fascinating thing. And we start seeing, and we start seeing the demographics change because Dave was an older male, not old. I mean, like he's probably mid 40s.
Okay.
But that's exactly who we want to talk to. Because think about that age group. They're like, they're right in the middle of busyness of life.
Yes. Probably got some 2 to 12-year-old kids.
Right. You know, and
working
jobs
hard and just trying to bring home the bacon, support the family.
Want to try to get a workout in. I want to kind of look good,
yes.
You know, but dang, I'm tired. Like, you know, but I don't want to do.
I'm tired. Go ahead.
But I don't want to do an energy drink because all I'm going to do is feel worse after it. So
and it tastes like crap.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of them that do.
Oh my God.
So we found who really benefits from our product the most. Not that not everybody can, but like this demographic really does. So we show him. And so we did this. And I think I paid a couple of $100 for his video, which I was like, $200, right? You know,
at first you're like, that's a lot. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. And then I'm like, $200? How many more can we find like this guy? So we went and found the next one. I was like, well, we've got our guy. Let's go find a woman. And she writes the script. She does everything and nails it. And she's fantastic because she's in this apartment. She's, you know, the entrepreneur. She makes this list and she goes, and I get my to-do list done. She nails it. And I don't have to do any of that stuff that's really not my genius zone. Like they're really, really talented at doing it.
Wow. I literally have the chills right now. So did you get more female buyers? I guess that's the key question.
We did. we started getting a younger because she was a younger female, but I loved her energy. Like, because you can see when you're on Fiverr and you're looking at these, you get to see past videos that they've made. And so you can see what you're going to get. And she just had the most, you could just feel her energy through the screen, if you will. And that's what we want to convey. Like her smile captured everything for us. And she was a little bit quirky because she was so real. Like she's mixing it up. She's got powder going in the kitchen. And I was like, okay, we're going to run with this. And she takes a sip and goes, it's the cutest thing.
Oh my gosh.
But it's so real. And so you resonate with that person. You can see, like when you're a buyer, you can see yourself in those shoes, right? Like, because she takes she opens a kitchen drawer, pulls out the butter knife and stirs it. Like, that's what I would do, right? Like, let me just stir this up and let's go.
You made it real.
Yeah. And so they bring this, there's a level of professionalism and that level of reality that blends, that is magic. And that's where user-generated content is. Like, it's that we don't want to, like, people don't want to see all the lights and the glitz and everything. They want to see, like, it's unrealistic for them, right?
Yeah. Do me a favor. You kind of the internet seized for a second. Mm-hmm. So say it again. You said it does and then it was like, and then you just came back. So you're like, I think you were like, it brings authenticity, but you still get some professionalism or something. Right. Is what you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So it brings that professionalism because they know how to convey your message, but it also brings that realness and that connection. And so you can feel that because we're tired of seeing everything that's kind of not real, that Hollywood vibe that, like, I'm never going to get to that. But these are real people. Like, they're like, Dave is out there on his treadmill working out, like in
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
like there's boxes in his garage, just like mine. So it's
yeah.
easy for a customer to see themselves in user generated content.
Yes. I love
And
it.
it's a reflection.
So good. If I heard you, I heard you, if I heard what you said correctly too, is like you put a little bit of maybe mind numbing research into it to find somebody that you like. You can see the videos, so you can say, "Hey, oh yeah, I like this person's energy. This is somebody that I want to use." And then it's like really simple from there. You hit buy or whatever it is, and then
Yeah.
they do the script and they show it to you, and you say yes, and then they film the video, and then you say, I like it, we're using it, in effect. Right. And then it's you get to put your magic around it, send it to your ad guy or you whatever, however that works. I'm not a big ad person, so I don't know. But
Oh no, so I'm our ad person. So yeah,
okay, you're the ad dude, the ad girl, the
I'm
ad
the ad
gal.
dude in our company.
um that's so amazing. I just am so happy for you, and it's so beautiful. And both of these videos or all these things I want to touch on two things again. How long are these videos that you're getting these days and that
We
you're
went
using
with
for UG?
we did 60 seconds, and
Okay,
it seems to be that kind of seems to be our sweet spot, right? Because
cool.
they can get that story in 60 seconds.
Yeah,
And that's the important, like so well, Mischa, it's the story.
yeah.
Because they could have just gone, hey, drink this, and that's not going to convert. Nobody, like, okay, why?
Yeah, too. And so I think if anybody went to Facebook and just was like typed in Elevaid for fun and spell Elevaid again, I'll spell it for you. It's Elevaid. So if anybody went to Facebook and started typing in Elevaid, or you were doing Google searches for Elevaid, spelled the way I said it, Elevaid, you would start getting forced your ads. And then people could see the ads, these UGCs, user generated content ads that have transformed your business for relatively inexpensively, which is so amazing. So that's cool. I stretch any of that, or is that true?
No, not at all. But even better, like on our social media, I have them as posts as well.
Cool.
So it's easy to find. In all of our social is at Smash Your Day. That's our parent company.
Okay.
And so you can just see those posts because we run them as posts as well. Like we run organic traffic to it, and we'll drop that every once in a while because people have forgotten it in the last 30 days.
Oh my gosh. So at Smash Your Day, they can see it as posts. You will make the post, and then you'll drive you'll drive traffic to the posts. That's pretty amazingly simple little formula.
It is. So one of the things that we're doing right now is we are going into newsletters. We're like going in as a sponsor, right? So I'll go sponsor, and that's just another form of traffic other than Facebook. And so what we'll do is we'll just put the link to that on our social media so that they see that too.
Amazing.
And so I mean, like, just a lot of different ways to get the eyes on it. And
I love it.
Yeah. And so we try to multi-purpose it as much as possible.
Amazing. And then do you mind if I tell the audience what you and I are going to do?
Sure. I'd love that. Yeah.
Amazing. So yes, fantastic. So we're going to bring you on an influence tour. So you Shawna, are one of the founding members of the Influence Army, and we're going to bring your message to market in a massive way. A heart-centered entrepreneur, just inspired to change and transform the world and build your movement, right? And so we're going to help take you on an influence tour, and we're going to start with podcasts, and you have such a great story. And so that's what we're up to. So you're like this whole video that came from a friend that came into your inbox has really transformed and inspired and shifted your whole thing, your whole when I say thing, I mean it's transformed your business, because now you're like, holy mackerel, got validation that people like my product. I use that validation, this testimonial, this user generated content to drive more business to your funnels to people to use your product. And now you're like, you have the confidence to be like, yeah, I'm sponsoring newsletters. Yeah, I'm going on podcast tour. Like, let's get this message out there. I
Yeah,
love that.
absolutely. And I am so excited about what we're getting ready to do with you. Like I just cannot wait to dive into this because it really is, it really is all about us being connected at the heart. And that's what I love about the community that we're in, is because it's not a competition. It's how can we all, come up together and support each other and really introduce each other to so many amazing humans out there. Like there's just, people are amazing. And to get to be with that group, I can't wait. I cannot wait to dive in and do this with you.
Yeah. The group of entrepreneurs, of founding members that we have, it's going to be so good. There's 27 of us, and just impactful, passionate, just, it's so good. And I just had this thing. I just was thinking, you're like, we're all going to elevate each other.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And gosh, who doesn't want to do that?
Who doesn't want to do that? I want to say one last thing, and then I'll let you get back to your day and
Absolutely.
I'll let you get back to building your army of Elevadians or
that.
Yeah. The ability to test and try simple concepts, simple ideas now with this UGC for you must be pretty powerful, because you can be like, for very inexpensively, we can have somebody spin up a video from us that meets whatever demographic. You could literally be like, we want to test female high school girls and see if this helps them or what, you know what I mean? And you could, or like single mom with a daughter in her arm drinking the Elevaid, right? Let's try that. Let's see if that works. Let's try 15 seconds. Let's try a minute and 30 seconds. Like, spin it up, try it, do some tests, works, doesn't work. And you can track the demographics and everything. That's pretty insanely powerful.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Like you just got to do it. You just got to go. You just got to go. It's there.
Launch, baby.
Yes, let's go.
and then one last thing. Everybody who's buying is giving you their email address. So you are not only like serving people by helping them, utilize your product and making them feel better, getting them off the couch, have richer family lives, better performance, all these amazing things. But you're building an asset of email lists of emails that you can now, market, come up with new ideas, go to your existing customer base and say, hey, you want to try grape or whatever. I don't know. Sky's the limit. Yeah.
It is. And that's one of the things I think I love the most, is getting to interact with our customers. Like they email back and it's me behind the keyboard on the other end answering, right? Like it's because it gives me so much joy, and I want to hear their success stories, what they're able to do, what they want to share. And we do a lot of that in our email as well. Like we'll share stories about people that have had a transformation, and we share inspirational stuff, because at the end of the day, it's just about everybody being better. And that's what brings us a tremendous amount of joy.
I love it, Shawna. And you know what? I think that's a great place to end. Thank you for so much for coming on and just sharing your story, but really just for being like openly like, hey, here's a strategy that transformed my business and I offer it to you. Like, what a gift. So thank you so much. And again, everybody, you can find Shawna and what she's up to, Shawna and Kevin, at Smash Your Day. That's her social media handle, at Smash Your Day. If you want to go online and buy some Elevaid right now, go to drinkelevaid.com. It's drink, ELEVAID. Again, drink, ELEVAID.com. And let's call it good.
It's a pleasure to be here with you, Mischa. So much fun.
Amazing. Love you. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show. For resources to help you sell your stuff, go to belove.media/resources. That's belove, elevaid.media/resources, and be sure to subscribe, comment, 5-star, and share. Thank you again for listening.